Hey, this is Ted Wetzel, and I'm here with one of my very good friends who is a patriot in more than one ways, and now a new patriot. So his name's Josh Holm. Secret number six was freedom is never free, and again, we encourage our listeners to check out the bios of the new patriots who helped out with the book. Uh, Josh um, um, would not consider himself a hero, but almost all Americans would because Josh served his country, and Josh paid a price uh, by being in a vehicle that was exploded by an improvised device. So this topic, we're talking to someone who lived that 2% of America serves in the military. You have thoughts on, again, the 98 percenters maybe seeing things a little differently by some method? Certainly, we don't need all of us in military service, and
No.
many of us would be terrible at it.
Well, that's why I'm like a huge believer in the volunteer policy. But also, I kind of think civil service may be a good thing for everybody to have to do. Maybe not in the military, but
Mhm.
maybe it's like a year as part of a college degree or like after high school or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
But just as, a way to broaden your horizons. But there's such a huge disconnection between the two, just because the majority of the public just has no clue, even on a day-to-day basis, of what the military is doing, or even like what life is like on a day-to-day basis for a soldier. Really, a little bit of it is like willful ignorance, but a lot of it, you're not supposed to. It's okay. Like there's a reason why it's service, and it drives me up the wall when these 2% are like, oh, you should thank me for my service, or you should be grateful. It's like, I volunteered for the service, and where does this stupid mindset come from? Like, you don't become a waiter to get treated great often. That was kind of a joke.
I think we have a hard time in our American culture just to be grateful for each other. Um, whether you are the janitor cleaning up vomit or you're the entrepreneur capitalist who can't sleep because they're not sure how they're going to make payroll this week, and
Mm-hmm.
and people are depending on that. Um,
Well, I think this also ties into like your spirituality stuff. I there's a few different ways of looking at it. Like typically, this is just like off the cuff, but like Christians view every life as sacred or precious, right?
sure.
And to me, none of it is. We're all just worthless pieces of shit, like on this rock.
Hmm.
And what's funny though is that I arrive at the same part that Christians do. It's because we're all worthless and we're all just trying to find our point and our happiness in life, that we should treat people with respect and kindness, not because they're sacred or something. It's because it sucks, man. Like,
Yes.
when did we stop doing what was right for the sake of doing what was right?
Mhm.
You know, like we created the national parks to do what was right and preserve this beauty, this nature. We endeavor to do more in space and science and technology because that's human nature, to explore, to create and do that. Like just like that part of our societal will is just broken. Well, we should have switched to renewable a long time ago because it makes sense. Like, why are we burning this anyway? Like, it's free friggin' sunlight,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like doing what is right. Like, and if you, it just, because people are always going to take the easier out than doing the right thing. And I think that's one of the issues I have recently, is that it's so easy for people to just keep taking the easier way out instead of doing the right thing.
I think you are raising not just an awesome point, but perhaps the point. First of all, that our founders were counting on people to pursue virtue, not vices. And that why they gave us freedom of religion, because they were counting on various religions to teach the virtues. The other one gets back to, which I know you know, one of our founders said, hey, if we were all angels, we wouldn't need government, we wouldn't need rules. But we are not angels, and we're capable, as you just said, of taking the easy way out and of hurting other people. That could be as easy right now as I should wear a mask because I don't want you to get sick.
Mm-hmm.
Not just because I don't want to get sick. So here's my question that I want to turn back to you, and that's that there's something happens, which is a very positive thing to the 2%ers among us that only rarely gets through to the other 98%.
I think so. Well, it's that discipline, I think. I mean, you'll see it in a lot of like just public service people, period. I think, it's just like that discipline to do the right thing, to, when you see that piece of garbage, to like bend down and pick it up. The training, the security, that that the person next to you wants the same thing as you, to come home alive. And you know that you can't do it alone, and that person can't do it alone. You're really in it together. And that disjointed, I don't want to say hysteria, but what's going on now with the disjointed feelings, I realize like that's part of it, like we're all in this together. And I think that's, like maybe it's one of the things we're missing out on, obviously, as a society.